Hello, creators, and welcome to Rediscovering Be Something Wonderful, where we revisit timeless classics from deep within our video archives. What if the greatest misunderstanding about manifesting is believing you have to change yourself or your reality? What if nothing has ever needed changing? In this video, you'll discover why creation is already finished, why your desires already exist as potential realities, and why manifesting has never been about getting or becoming anything. It's about choosing. Because you don't change people. You don't change circumstances. You don't change the world. You don't even change yourself. You choose to be the version of you through whom and for whom your desired reality is already real. The moment you understand this one shift, you'll realize that manifesting has always been far simpler than you ever imagined. Now, let's rediscover the extraordinary simplicity of consciously creating the life of your wildest dreams. Welcome back to Be Something Wonderful. I have a big video for you today. A big discussion came up around the idea of changing reality. In other words, changing the people, events, and circumstances in your life, the manifested people, events, and circumstances, the script or alternative parallel reality that's playing out at the moment. And remember, we talked about it's not about changing reality. In other words, it's not about changing reality in terms of altering it, altering any one image, any one identity or version of you, any one identity or version of others, any one script, any one frame of reality, because all that is all that is. That means all potential or possible frames, identities, manifested experiences exist and will always exist. So it always gets back to choosing. That's one of the biggest myths, right? That you have to change the personality of a specific person, for example, for them to love you, or that it's spiritual trespassing to try to manifest somebody that's with somebody else. Remember, you're not trying to change that reality where they're with somebody else. You're moving to an alternative parallel reality where they're with you. I really want to hit this idea in a big way today, that the biggest manifesting and reality creation myths are this, that you have to change as an alter reality, a certain image, specific outcome, script, alternative parallel reality, or that you attract what you want, that you have to attract it to you, that there's one manifested reality out there and you have to attract that to you. Or that you have to create your desired reality that didn't exist. The idea that we're creating something out of non-existence. Non-existence doesn't exist. That's what makes it impossible. Because non-existence is impossible. That's why it always feels impossible to you. So you're not changing or altering anything. You're not attracting, or the idea of raising your vibration came up yesterday. Raising your vibration to attract what you want. You're already that perfect core essence or vibration of all that is. In other words, you have your own unique, specific, personalized vibration as all that is. So you're going to attract everything, but not attract, create. But not create, see, perceive, manifest your chosen reality by choosing. Choosing from being that core essence or vibration that you are, by setting your attentions of things that you want and desire within that core vibration. Because it's already created. Creation's finished. There's already an identity of you. You're a multidimensional being where you exist and will always exist in that desired reality. It's already there. You're already living it, but it's potential to you until you just say the word. Right? Until you speak the word, until you choose that reality. We're going to talk about all of these ideas. And you're not creating from some non-existent reality. They're all there. That's why Neville Goddard said creation is finished. All that is. That means all power, all knowing, all potential, everything, everywhere, all at once, right now. And you are in all of those realities. You're living all of those lives. And in each of those identities, in each of those specific lives that are going on right now simultaneously, is a different specific world of people, events, and circumstances that align, that resonate with that being that you are, that choice that you made. It's all made, though, from that core vibration, that core essence of who you are that never changes. Your signature vibration, your signature frequency as all that is, never changes. And there are infinite different frequencies or vibrations or specific personalized, unique, infinite points of consciousness. But they're not separate from any other point of consciousness. It's all of those different vibrations, those unique core essence, infinite in nature, you, me, and everybody else, make up the one vibration or one essence or one emotion of source energy of God. So to you, the physically focused you, it's more than 99.9% of unseen potential, all that is. Because less than 0.1% is your physical experience. The rest is there as potential to you. But it doesn't mean it's out of reach. It means it's going on right now. And there's a alternative parallel you living that. And to that alternative parallel you that's living it, your life is potential to them. They all exist, all at once, right now, right? So Dr. Joe Dispenza summarizes it beautifully, and I want to go back to this quote, which I've done in many early videos on the channel. Great videos if you get to them. If an atom is 99.99999% energy and 0.00001% physical substance, then I'm actually more nothing than something. This is powerful, this idea that an atom is more energy than physical substance. But it's all potential. The less than 0.1% and the more than 0.99.9% is all the potential energy of source. That one substance, that one awareness. I love this. So that nothing, meaning more not manifested, more unseen, more potential than something, than that manifested seen potential. You're more not manifested, unseen potential than you are manifested seen potential, but it's all potential. All of that, these together, I want to show this. The not manifested unseen plus the manifested seen are all that is. I am awareness, consciousness, the Son of God, the Word of God. I am. And what's greater than that? The unmanifest. I am that I am, the great I am, the one and only source, God, the Father, the great I am, the stillness in the peace of God which surpasses all understanding. Out of this stillness, out of this great I am, out of this great unmanifested source that we call God, this stillness that has no beginning, no end, it just is, it's existence itself, it's life itself, comes the livingness of that life, the beingness of that life, the firstborn Son of God, consciousness or awareness, the ability to be aware, that self-aware consciousness, to be aware of itself as consciousness, that's both seen and unseen. That's powerful. We're going to talk about this idea. The unmanifest is greater than the not manifested and manifested, but they are one. They're not separate. My Father is greater than I, but I and the Father am one. Am one because it's not separate, right? This is powerful. Stay with me here. Take a picture of this. Take a snapshot. Okay, here we go. So if I don't change or alter or attract or even create my reality, this is what the question came yesterday. A beautiful conversation yesterday, beautiful. Even create my reality. How do I create and manifest my reality? This was a friend of mine, right, that I talked with. And it was such a great question. Well, That's a great question, but let's go over it again. Let's hear it again, because how do you create it? Just say the word. The word, I am, is reality. That unseen, not manifested potential, that 99.9%, you don't create or attract any of that. And that seen, manifested potential, that less than 0.1%, you don't change or alter any of that. Do you see this? And that is all that is. That's I am. That's all potential. That's pure awareness. That's pure consciousness. You don't create or attract these unseen or not manifested potential, or that seen manifested potential of less than 0.1. You don't change or alter that. What do you do then? How do I create my own reality? You speak it into being. And I don't just mean verbal speech, the inner speech, the conversation about who you are. You speak it into the air for what already is and what already exists, the unmanifest, without ever adding to or taking away or changing or altering the unmanifest or the Father, God, source of the unmanifest, and its Son, Son of God, awareness and consciousness. All of that isness, all of that potential comes from that unmanifest, comes from that great one life, that one life that becomes livingness or beingness, the isness that becomes beingness as the Son of God. Are you following me here today? I know we've talked about this in different ways, but today it's even more different. So this is powerful, okay? So stay with me here. In the beginning, we're going to go back to Scripture because that says it all. In Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God, the unmanifest isness of reality, existence itself, that just exists and always existed, right? Created the heavens and the earth, created the unseen, not manifested, and created the seen, manifested, created that more than 99.9% of unseen, and that less than 0.1% of seen. Unmanifested existence, the isness of reality, that unmanifest God, I am that I am. That's why God said that to Moses. I'm that I am. I'm that great unmanifested reality, unmanifest reality. That true reality, that ultimate reality, that existence that just exists. The great isness of reality. In the beginning, as they say in John 1:1, as Jesus, your I am awareness, said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What's the Word? I am. That's the beginning of the awareness of being conscious of consciousness being conscious of itself, of awareness being aware of itself as all that is, as all potential. I am awareness, all that is. The word is I am. It's the great beingness coming from that great isness. It's the great livingness of life, right? All the not manifested potential and manifested potential, in other words, the unseen and seen, that more than 99.9% that Dr. Joe Dispenza was pointing at, and that less than 0.1% of seen that Dr. Joe was pointing at, that is where that all comes from. That's what we're talking about. He was in the beginning with God. Who's he? I am awareness, consciousness, awareness, right? That awareness of being, the Word, the great beingness of God. In the beginning was with God. In other words, was with the unmanifest. It's not separate from it. Existed in the beginning with God, the beginning of our awareness of reality. The awareness that we are that unmanifested, that peace that passes all understanding, that one God. Non-existence, I am not, doesn't exist. So that's what that means. He was in the beginning with God in John 1:2. In other words, non-existence doesn't exist. That's what it's saying there. Do you see it? He was with existence in the beginning. That's powerful. So stay with me here. All things came into being through him, and apart from him, nothing came into being that has come into being. Wow! John 1:3. Neville Goddard points to this quite a bit, right? Him, what is him? I am awareness, consciousness, beingness, all that is, pure potential, all things came into being from this. Right? And nothing came into being that has come into being unless it came into being from this. No thing, nothing. Right? There is none. The great I am, God, the great unmanifest, the existence, the one life, the one source. You have that as the one source. Then you have the Son of God. I am, or the Word of God. In the beginning was the Word. The first, if you want to call it, the first great manifestation of the unmanifest. Consciousness. The unmanifest now moving upon itself as God moved upon the waters, moving upon itself as awareness, as consciousness. One divine mind, what the Son of God, all that is, that's all potential, all seen potential, all unseen potential. Your 3D physical reality is not just something that you ignore and try to run away from. It's potential. It's seen potential, but it's potential. And so it's not about changing anything, it's about choosing. What do you want that potential to reflect? The no thing that is all things, or everything. Wow. That's powerful. Let's keep going. So, the unmanifest, God existence. Then you have I am awareness, consciousness, all that is, pure potential. One self-aware intelligence, one divine mind, the personality of that one impersonal God, existence itself, isness of reality, the unmanifest, the impersonal nature of all that is. I am awareness is the personality of God. It's the personality of love, of gratitude, of joy. Not a 3D emotion, physical emotion of that, although that can be a translation of it. But even at your highest joy, your highest gratitude, right, your highest love, you're never going to ever reach that in the physical experience. You are it. You can't see who you are, right? You can't see the observer. You are the observer. You are all of it. You're that awareness, one divine mind, the personality of that one impersonal God. So God has a personality. It's called I am. And that's what God said. I am that I am. Right? That's the personality. The Son of God, the Word, love. Right? The Word. Just say the Word, as in the story of the healing of the centurion's servant. Just say the Word, and my servant will be healed. And then it says the servant was healed in that very instant, in that very moment. Right? Speak the Word. And then this is you as the Son of Man. The core essence or identity of God. The divine vibration of God is the Son of Man. Do you see it? It's the expression of the perfect vibration of God. Right? Your I am identity is the manifesting expression of that divine you. That core essence that you are doesn't change. It's always you. This is you. And you're always shifting and seeing different viewpoints or vantage points of that divine you as the Son of Man. That's why they called Jesus, in the story of Jesus, right? The metaphysical meaning of the Son of God and the Son of Man is you in your physical body, but you're still divine. You're both the Son of God and the Son of Man. That core essence of identity doesn't change. And then as you say the word, as you tell your story, inner and outer, you create that manifested experience or expression of your I am identity. It's always shifting. It seems like it's not, but it always is, right? It seems solid, but it's always shifting. According to you, according to that identity. But what doesn't change? That core vibration, that core personality, your unique expression as God, as all that is, as that unique personality. That's powerful today. So, again, I just want to keep showing you this. There it is, that I am identity. I just wanted to show it here, right? So, always pushing out or spilling over or unfolding the vertical you, that vertical core vibration unfolding into physical manifested experiences. But that identity creates the past, present, and future right now. Because it's always different. This experience is always changing. But there are infinite identities, infinite manifested experiences. It's not about changing any one of these. So when you say, I didn't choose or imagine that, right? You have some questions like something that you view as bad happens or negative happens or unwanted. You said, I didn't choose that. I didn't imagine that. Why is it happening? Well, when you say that, Or you say, I've been in wish fulfilled, assuming, affirming, and imagining, but nothing happened. Either one. Where you're imagining, affirming that you want, but nothing changed. Or something happened and you say you didn't affirm, imagine, and assume that. You can't know that. Do you see? You can't know from this current manifested, physically focused reality that's the past, because the past has already changed. Do you see it? You're assuming that from a manifested past that you're creating right now, and a future that you're creating right now. See, you're creating the past, present, and future idea of that experience here and now by speaking the word. So you can't know what that identity and that other physical manifested reality was doing or thinking or affirming. You only know, you're only creating that idea now. You're creating that idea that I didn't choose or imagine that. And you believe it. So you create this idea that there's an unwanted reality right here in the past that you didn't choose. But there's no past. So you're creating that right now. Do you see the paradox here? I've been in wish fulfilled, assuming, affirming, imagine, but nothing changed. That's because you said that right now. That's because you're that identity saying nothing changed. You're putting that past there where nothing changed. You don't know that nothing changed because you're no longer that identity. You're this identity, and you're in this new identity saying nothing has changed. Whew. I hope you're getting this. I've talked about this in many ways, right? There's a big paradox going on here. That's why I use that quote a few times now in several of the recent videos from that movie Next, with Nicolas Cage playing this character who could see 2 minutes into the future. Here's the thing about the future. Every time you look at it, it changes because you looked at it, and that changes everything. But what he's really saying is here's the thing about reality. Here's the thing about the past, present, and future. Every time you look at it, in other words, every time you speak the word, I am, in other words, every time you declare who you are, and you're declaring who you are when you said nothing has changed, or that I didn't imagine that, or I didn't create that. Well, you're creating it by putting it there, by saying that. Every time you look at it, every time you speak the word, it changes. Because you looked at it, because you spoke the word, because you said it, because you're viewing it that way. And that changes everything. It changes the past, present, and future. Do you see this, guys? I want you to see this today, that manifested, what you're looking at as that manifested past, that you're saying nothing changed, or that you didn't choose or imagine that, is created right now by your focus, by who you are now. Because you don't know that. Same with the present and same with the future. Whew. Wow. You're creating a horizontal linear experience that makes sense to your assumption that you didn't choose that. You're creating that horizontal linear experience right now that makes sense to your assumption that I've been in wish fulfilled, assuming, affirming, imagining, but nothing changed. It's bearing witness to that assumption now. Because there are no assumptions in the past. There is no past. It's all being created now. Whew. Wow. I don't think we've ever really unpacked it like this before. Right? Every moment you have a new you, that changes everything. That's what it's saying here. Every moment it's a new you. So what do I do to manifest my wish fulfilled now? This is the comment. I really moved my friend here. Speak the word. Assume, affirm, and remember reality as you would like it to be. Past, present, and future, not as you insist it should have been, or you insist that it should be. Do you see? You're insisting that I didn't choose that, so it shouldn't be that. I've been in wish fulfilled, assuming, and affirming, and imagining, so it should have changed. You create that idea right now. Instead, speak the word, affirm, choose, and remember reality as you would like it to be, period. Past, present, and future, not as you insist that it should be, or it should have been. That's powerful, right? This is what acceptance and allowing really means. Biggest manifesting myth debunked to fulfill your wishes now. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, it is 8:25 here, Pacific time, here in Las Vegas. Let's see, 35 minutes at 9 a.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be coming to you live right here from the studios of Be Something Wonderful with our next live stream on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. If you're a member, join us. If you're not a member, check out the link below. We're going to answer questions that you've been sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. It's not too late. Keep sending your questions and answering questions on the chat. Creators, be sure to visit our Facebook group and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. Those are the Be Something Wonderful ambassadors. Join us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, or anywhere on social media at Be Something Wonderful or Tom Kearin. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. We will see you in 35 minutes, I hope, in this live event coming to you from Las Vegas. Until next time, see you soon.